course. Oh, what's up, Buck? Yeah? What up, Freddy? So, I figure I have enough late live feeds I can start one early. So I'm working on my dad's old saw. Basically, my dad taught me how to climb trees, and then everything else I kind of taught myself from YouTube. You know, but I knew the basics and used the basics for a decade or so before I ever seen a video of someone ever doing it. So, yeah, I think I can get this thing. So my other 200 blew up. I kind of knew I was leaning it out. It was my fault. So that is what it is. So I have this one that was my dad's old saw, and I also have a 200 here as a carcass. But now I need the carcass to fix the first one. So, like I said, I'm working on my dad's old saw. I was gonna work on my mom's old saw, but I didn't have any batteries charged. Right? Sun on my eyes now? Yeah. So yeah, let's see. I thought I had things pretty figured out, and then I had a leaky gas line, and I wasn't getting any fire. That checks out. Well, I wasn't. So I'm pretty toast. And let's see. I got one here. Let's hope it's right. I don't know if it is or not. Cool. So I flooded it out trying to start it. So I'm gonna put my thumb over the hole, blow the rest of the excess gas out of there onto my thumb instead of onto the plug after I put a new plug in. You buy your chains from Amazon? They are like... No, I never have, Fred. No, I was just... Man, I'm very... Like, top handles never get used on the ground. My stuff stays sharp for quite a long time. I use scabbards so that I'm not dinging them onto concrete or metal truck beds and stuff like that. And I will file a chain down so far. You can see my wall in there. There's tons of chains there. If somebody, before I'll let somebody just throw a chain away, I'll take it. And I used to work for a guy back in the day who would, after a chain went dull, he would throw it away and buy new ones. And I kept them all. And so for like a year, I kept all the chains. And to this day, almost 5 years later, I've never bought a 660 chain. I've just used his, the 3.5 foot bar. I still have more. I just got to sharpen them. So, but yeah, it would be nice when I do have to buy them, because I've ran out of the my 362 is what I use more than anything, except for, my top handles. But so I may need to buy a 362 chain, because I goofed up in a hurry and filed the chain out with the wrong size file, and it cuts like crazy, but I know I just ate up a bunch of the chain after I file it correct again. I don't know, maybe I'll keep the small hook and just keep using it like that, but never bought any from Amazon. Now, I figured I'd do this live feed because that dickhead sheriff guy, he just gets on here and rambles and doesn't pay attention to the chat. He just loves the sound of his own voice. Super opinionated. He's kind of a jerk. But yeah, since that guy's always doing that, I figure, what is going on here? Is that not right? It seems right to me. That's right. Don't do this. I figured I'd do a live feed and actually answer some questions and keep up with the chat, maybe. So, if YouTube doesn't cancel the chat here in a second. Last night when I finished up, about an hour afterwards, after I got all the links put in, the timestamps put in, I checked views on the video, and it was like at like 1,000. And I was like, okay, it did pretty good, because I wasn't feeling too hot last night. I was like, it did pretty good. And I woke up this morning and it said I had 380 something views. So like over 700 views just disappeared. I don't know why, but like, whatever, YouTube. Guess it's not that important, but so I cleaned out the air filter here the rest of the way. I got that gas line tightened up where it was leaking. I'm worried that I didn't spend enough time cleaning out the carb where it was all gummed up, gelled up. But so this saw was my dad's saw, I would think. I had it running at one point. It didn't sound the best, but I had it running. And I'm like, I know what I need to do. I need to switch these carbs out. I had a cleaned carb that I was going to switch out for it. I need to switch out the carb, put a good plug in it, and clean some stuff out. The clutch, back behind the clutch, make sure the oiler, all that shit's working. And mess with the muffler a little bit and get that spark arrestor out of there, because a lot of times they're just totally gummed up and they're getting no air through. So I did all that this time, and I'm just hoping for the best, I guess. When you take the pull cord cover off 200, there's a lot of crap that builds up in the bottom. Yeah, especially if a lot of times you'll get them and they don't have the plastic cover back behind these shields, back behind here. And I thought maybe that one would come off. Both of these have them, but they come off, they snap off, and a lot of guys will throw those out. I don't understand why, because they keep a lot of that sawdust from getting into the corners and edges and gumming up. So I'm worried to even try it. I want it to run so bad, but yeah. Let's try it. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? It doesn't start. Double check a few things. Let's see if I have gas in it too. This is old gas too. I should probably put new gas in. Fuel line doesn't feel bad. Let's see. What up, BR? Oh, I know I'm about to embarrass myself. It's not gonna start, or it's gonna sound like a Echo 355. If you know, you know. Oh, god dang it. How you been, BR? you don't have this thing's sick. I don't really know the part number or nothing, but it's a Stihl multi-tool for everything. So I dig it. It's also got this little thing on the back. Oh my god. Okay, my bad. So it's got this thing on the back. It's a multi-tool with all your attachments, both ends. And what I like is you can like crack the bolt loose with it like this and do it, and then straighten it out and finish it with like a screwdriver real quick. And then also that stores down in there, goes into the case. But also it's real nice, if you've ever used a multi-tool, the biggest pain in the ass is getting these out. This thing's got this little, where it pushes them up, and now you can get them all out. Pushes it back in. It's pretty sick. Yeah, hopefully we can get her to go. It would be nice, because my 201 needs a break. It needs time to chill out and rest and get cleaned. And well, it would be so sick to have my dad's saw run too. So I would say the last time this thing actually like was used would be my dad, and he switched to the 201, I think, before he stopped doing it. I know, maybe he switched to like the 190, I think is what he did. But yeah, let me see. Working, right on. That's awesome. That sounds like a good time, man. It's good to flush the tank out. There you get a lot of... Yeah, I think I just was talking to somebody about that specifically. And any kind of chainsaw, guys, especially with the oilers, you should clean the side where you're going to lay the cap off before you crack it open and get that out. A lot of guys will crack that open, lay it here, and there's sawdust all right here, and it sticks to the cap. They put it back in. Same thing with the gas one. There's sawdust all back here. They take the cap off. I'm very nitpicky when it comes to when I take the caps off. I'll like clean the sawdust around the edges and clean that off. And I don't get a lot of... I don't know if I've ever changed the fuel filter. Really had to clean any of the carbs. Only reason for this one is it's spent years and years and years and years not being used. So really, guaranteed for life? Yeah, that would be sick if I wouldn't lose it first. So, I'm just being honest. I got rained out in the Canfield. Ah, bummer. Bummer hoses, that's no good. Dang. Yeah, get that gear strung out and let it dry. Where's your dad, buddy? I just left my dad's house. I just talked to him. He definitely stopped very young. You know, he had me and my brother around, and my brother and him still live together. You know, I gotta be the loner weirdo, one that runs off on his own. That's me. Marcone, what's going on, Lima? What up, Bert? Yeah. Like I said earlier, I figured that asshole sheriff guy is always doing live feeds, rambling, not keeping up with the chat. He loves the sound of his own voice, so he just talks and talks. He's kind of a jerk. So I figured I'd do one, maybe answer some questions, just chit chat with you guys. And I needed to work on this, so figure we killed two birds with one stone. So let's do it though. No way. No way. Dude, there's no way. shit. You have no clue how stoked I am right now. It's like almost an embarrassing smile that I don't want to look at the camera. No way. No way. No way, man. That's crazy. There's no way. I mean, let me move you guys. That's crazy. My mind is blown right now. I legit figured we'd sit here for an hour. Maybe I'd get it pop off once or twice. No way, dude. He was very, I mean, it was a different time, I would say. My dad is like Buck and Billy Ray. I'm not saying Buck and Billy Ray is my dad. That is crazy. I can't believe I just kind of worded it that way, but I gotta stop grinning. I am so stoked. Yeah, I would say my dad was at the skill level of bucking. You know, knew everything, done so many that it was second nature. So he knew everything as far as the basics. But you know, we rigged natural crotch with a clip, just like I kind of do now. But you know, we climbed on a taut line, spiked everything, we topped things. Like, it was a different time. I could say that. You know, I'm 41, so it sounded crazy. I spray myself super clean. I dilute it purple stuff with water and cleans it good. Oh, that's sick. I may try that. Yeah, I know. I can't believe it came out that way. That was crazy. So I still have this carcass too, and I bought this carcass at a yard sale one time. It wasn't in the for sale pile. It was off to the side, and I ended up buying it for that. I won't hold that against you, Total Tech. I'll try not to, but that's awesome though, man. I dig it. You like what you like. You should hear the 201 with the West Coast muffler. It sounds awesome. Yeah, I have one. I have one. That's what mine is, right? That's the one I use. But so I just know the power there. The difference between the two. There's extra power there. That thing is. I never fully throttled it there. It screamed too much, and I didn't want to. It's been a while, so I was kind of not wanting to hit it too hard without it warming the metals up. I cannot believe it. But okay. And I have no more 200s. Oh, bummer. That's no good. I have a brand new jug. Do you? That's good. I don't know what all I'm going to end up needing. I just know my other one burnt up. It probably just needs... Who knows? Who knows? But, you know, I have the carcass. But the carcass is in such good shape, and it's all there. It's just got some broke plastics. I feel like I should check the other one. If I need to get a cylinder or piston, replace it. And then fix this one up. And maybe get rid of it to somebody. Or sell it as is to somebody. Especially when I get two again, you know. There's no sense in having three. But I don't know what I end up needing, BR. I may end up, you know, I don't know what all is cracked and broken on this one, but I'm sure there's quite a few things. So, 372 XP. That is when you're going Husqvarna. That's on the Savage line right there, total. I dig it. Are you talking about the? Is the 372 the one with the high top, or is it? What's up, Hyde? Dude, I appreciate that, BR. Yeah, let me check and see what all I end up, what is wrong, cause it just kind of crapped out on me. But I'm telling you, I feel like my dad said that's what happened to that one. And look, this plug, I cleaned it off, and it's still, it was soaked. As it's dried, it looks so much better. But I think the plug was shot, and I even think there's a chance that the wire had worked its way off. Those little springs sometimes will wear out and they don't hold onto the wire as good as they're supposed to, and as the saw vibrates, it can rattle that thing off. I've had old 200s, like I've been through a few of them, and so that can happen. But man, I'm stoked. I can't believe that worked. Switched out the plug, and it fired that first pull. That's like, because I sat out here for, I don't know, about 5 minutes before I got the live feed started. What's up, John? What up, Nate? And tried to start it, and I was like, I probably just flooded it. That's stupid. But even if you flood a chainsaw, I've never flooded a chainsaw that will actually run and not got it started. Like, I did a video on it. If you flood your chainsaw, put it on run, hold your finger down on the trigger, and if you need to put the brake on, put the brake on, but hold your finger down on the gas trigger and dump more gas to it and start pulling. And pull as quick as you can. Like, not as hard as you can, but as consecutively as you can. And it'll clean that gas out of there and get it to fire clean. I know it sounds counterintuitive, so when it floods itself, hold your finger down on the gas trigger? Yeah. Yeah. Anybody with an old pickup truck, sometimes, you'll kind of get those. How you doing, Jay? Oh, louder also. Yeah. Will do, brother. Thank you. Appreciate you, BR. What up, bad for you? Dude, I just got my dad's old chainsaw that, like, so I've been tinkering with it for about a week because my 201 started cutting out as I was using it. And I'm like, oh no, what's going on here? But I was on this massive, I just put the videos out. Um, they were, it was two massive trees grown together, an elm tree and an oak tree. And the guy that I was doing it for is like, it's one of the biggest oak trees I've ever seen. Well, hey, numbnuts, it's not, did you even walk up to the tree? Do you even know what trees are? And I had the worst, most chaotic freak show of a circus that I've ever been on during that one. And the video is just, it's ridiculous. So, agreed. I have a 360 that seems to flood easy, and that's the only way I can get it to fire up. Yeah, full throttle. Yep. Yeah, and I mean, you can always just hit the brake. I see guys all the time, they're gonna break their clutches, and because what they'll do is they'll go wham 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 with the saw and then hit the brake mid throttle, and that locks the clutch up, and it'll get those springs to crack. It'll get the clutch to crack. So I just, when I'm starting the saw with the with the with the brake on, as soon as it fires, take your finger off the trigger, because you're putting tension on the clutch and you're gonna bust stuff, whether it be the oiler needle or. But yeah, that's how I start anything I've ever flood. I will just full throttle and get to pulling on it, and like I said, don't pull your hardest, pull your quickest. Be like boom 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 boom, instead of and break the rope like a doofus. So, done that. I have an embarrassing story, and actually, I don't even know if I want to tell it because it's super embarrassing now because I realized I bought something that was Husqvarna. So that's even more embarrassing. But I bought I bought this Husqvarna. Uh, I have an 036 in there too that I need to get running. But I bought this Husqvarna mower, and I started it when I bought it, and then I got it up to the place where I was going to use it. I was mulching leaves, and it wouldn't start. And I was pulling as hard as I could, as fast as I could, just as many times as I could. And it said something. This was a long time ago when easy start things just came out, and I didn't know. And I exhausted myself. I pulled on that thing for about an hour, and I was so mad I even called the company, and I was all the way up in the city. I'm like, you sold me this thing don't run. I was so pissed. I'm throwing a hissy fit like a little kid and pulling on it, and like I was I was exhausted, and I gave it one last pull, just as easy as it probably as soft as you could ever pull something because I was exhausted, and it started. And I looked over at Jake. I said, what the fuck? And he's like, it started? And I was like, yeah. So then I ran it for a little bit and I shut it off. I even told him I was afraid to shut it off because I didn't think it would start again. And then I went over, and when I pulled it a little too hard, so I pulled it a little softer, started again. And my cheeks got incredibly red because I realized that I was just didn't understand how the easy start thing worked. You're supposed to start it easy. I don't know. They went up 100 since the tariff started. They're 900 now. Dang. Hungarian. No. No, I get a hungry all the time, but I don't know how to speak it. Nobody here speaks that language. Hello from Tree King, Ohio. What's up, Sky? I like my 355 Echo. Always starts easy. Bert, I'm not. I'm about to. Are you trolling? No, I'm just kidding. Some people like them. Like, I'm getting emails from guys. They are so embarrassing. They're super mad about me calling battery powered chainsaws. I didn't do it. That dickhead sheriff guy did it. But about calling battery powered saws female saws. They're for women. And I think I've ruffled some feathers that guys just don't understand the satire and humor in any of it. So switch was off. Where the trees are small. Hell yeah. I missed what saw it is. 200. Yeah, it's a 200. It's actually my dad's old chainsaw. And my smart ass joke at the beginning was I was going to work on my mom's old chainsaw, but I realized I didn't have any batteries charged. So I used it in my video today. It's poor man's ported. Dude, whatever gets her done, that's all that matters. $200 and the 20T are bad to the bone. Yes, they are bad for you. I don't know if you did. You hear me? Did you hear the saw fire up? That saw hasn't ran since the late 90s probably. And I switched the carb out on it. I ended up replacing a couple gas lines that I had. And I checked everything else. It was pretty good. Cleaned a bunch of gunk out. Got everything put back together. And I was pretty confident that I could at least get it to fire. So I went out there and I pulled on it forever, and then I came back, and when I switched the plug out, I realized the wire was loose, and I don't think it was connected correct. So and I connected it there, and that thing fired on the first pull and then ran like a top. So I was able to buy a 200 a few years back, put a few hundred into it, and she rips now. Yeah, I believe they've become rare to even find. I have both the 200 or the 201. I have the two 200s. I have a 150. I got a 193, and I have a 190. Um, it's a pretty sick little saw. I don't know if most guys ever seen it. Like, so a lot of the guys are newer, so battery is nice here in Oregon during the fire season. Battery or stick saw, right on, right on. I've used the uh, the Milwaukee one. My wife let me use hers. Um, no, this old farmer let me use hers, or his, or yeah, whatever. And it had some power, but like I ended up almost getting the whole top stuck up in another tree. It don't have enough power. Like there's no comparison when you're running that on a sharp chain. That thing flies through wood. The other one cuts wood, and it makes an annoying noise. But like, I don't know. I was born with it, Joey. I was born with it, man. That's hilarious. You want to see that 190? I'll show you that 190. I wonder if it starts. What are you doing, Chocolate? Bark at some neighbor kids. Check out this saw. Tool 190. It almost like resembles the damn Echo. It was very sleek and small and compact. Oh, that's my, I have a Great Pyrenees. That's funny. I have a Great Pyrenees. And that's he's got one of those big, huge balls with the rope in it, and that's what's swinging back there. That's funny. Who is that? I don't know. He's a short red man. Yeah, that's funny you say that. I thought about that last night, but I guess it was dark and you couldn't really see it. No one caught it, so it's hilarious. Thoughts on the Husky battery powered saw with a clutch? If the clutch makes that god awful noise go away, maybe it's cooler. But if the clutch doesn't stop that god awful noise, I don't like it. Yeah. You know, that is what it is. I'm dead serious. I wonder if this thing would start. Here's one thing I don't do when I mess with chainsaws. I don't use those things. I'm not using a primer bulb, especially if you haven't used the chainsaw or the mower in a while. Don't push that bulb. It's going to crack, and it's not going to be visible. You're not even going to be able to tell. Then your stuff's not going to run right. They still make that? No. No, they haven't made it in a long time. I remember, I think mine was the 191 that I ended up I can't even remember. It had the really, really bad, the worst plastic spikes they've ever put on a saw before. They're not even spikes, they were like nubs. These are not them. I don't even remember. This was off like an 021 back handle. But Yeah, I need to switch those dogs over to my 200. They're better than the ones I have on the 200 here. Yeah, definitely switching that out before I take this back. Is it better? Let's see. Actually, before I embarrass myself, let's see if it even has gas. It may not have any gas. Not really. Oh, it's so low. Like, you can't see any gas down in there. Let's see if it fires anyway. There's a little bit. There's little bits. Maybe there's some fumes. Doubt it's gonna fire. Yeah, no way. No, hang on. Yeah, there's no gas. It was gonna sound crazy if you could hear the difference. Hang on. You can check out the 200. And I'll go run and dump some gas in this thing. Give me just a second. Then we can hear the difference. Okay. And as per the rules of America, be it a hillbilly, I stopped and got a cigarette. You have to do that anytime you're messing with gasoline. Okay. I guess we could try it again. There it went. Ran out of gas last time. I don't want to take the gas. Still sounds like it's not getting gas. Both sounded like shit on that microphone to that phone. Yeah. I can't believe they both ran though. That's kind of crazy. Actually, the 190, that may be a 191. Whatever it is. I'm not that surprised that it ran. My mind is absolutely blown that I got the 200. My dad's old soul to run now. That's the 194 of today. Yeah. Yep. Ain't got no gas in it. Yeah. I don't run saws without a bar and chain. Yeah, yeah, I do, when I need them to run. I just finished putting the plug in that, so that thing hasn't ran since the late 90s. So I think I fired it once and got it to start, and then it died, kind of fell on its face. So I knew the carb was completely gummed up and messed up. So I just took it out. I removed it and switched it with another 200 carb that I had. Yeah, I replaced the plug, replaced the needle valve so I could get the oiler to start working. Yeah, or the gear, whatever you want to call it. Hey, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. It went. That's crazy. What up, first gen? Yeah, yeah. The wood ID, wood ID, whatever it is. It's just I never really needed it, and it was the first saw that I actually blacked out. Um, I had never completely blacked any of my saws out, so I almost wish I wouldn't have done the badge thing. It's a guy limb walking with his briefcase, so I almost wish I wouldn't have done that. And because now I can't remember if it's a 190 or 191, but little wire brush, the springs, and the clutch. Yeah, yeah, keep that stuff clean. I think one of the biggest things, and I don't know if guys respect it enough, is to make 100% sure that you are cleaning your filter before every use. Usually when I do that, they're usually, on the back of the saw here. So I always just put the clutch on, or put the choke on, because when you open it up, if you have the choke on, when you pop that off, you don't get no dust inside the carb. So I'll turn the choke on, it'll clog the holes off, and then if I pop that off and a little bit of sawdust that falls on it, you can kind of blow that stuff off and not get it down into the carb. So double tap your screen, subscribe to the channel. I like all that, first gen. You know what, first gen? I gotta make you a mod. Let's see. Oh, are you are, aren't you? Yeah, okay, okay. Okay, I thought so. Appreciate you. Oh, what up, Jay? We just finished working. Right on, brother. Yeah, I was sitting around the house and I finished finally getting everything buttoned up on my dad's old 200T. And my 201's been crapping out, so I needed to take some time, move it out of the lineup. My old 200 burnt up and just kind of crapped out on me. And I just shoved it up on a shelf, grabbed the 201, and I kind of keep them in circulation. Um, the 201 got used for like a decade and beat to hell, and then finally I had got a 200 and I switched it out. Maybe not quite a decade. I would say probably 8 years, seven to eight. So, oh no worries, brother. Be careful. Watch yourself, my friend. Yes, yes, yes. I appreciate that, Joe. Is that Geltman? Or is it the J sound? So, I hate my autocorrect. Yeah, dude, you're cool. You're cool. I'm usually pretty good at translating that stuff anyway. But it's the worst when you say something and it makes you say something sus instead, where you're like, whoa, whoa, I did not want to say that to him. But, yeah, I can't believe that thing fired today. That's not usually the way the chainsaw situations work for me. De donde eres? What's going on, Javier? I don't know if you just insulted me or said something nice, but hope you're having a good day, brother. I gotta move that a little closer. I can't read it if I don't. I was cutting dead ash. Ah. No, I got you. No, you don't. You can sharpen a chain. I'm telling you, get one of these. If you're paying $21, don't you pay $21. Go to the, I'm telling you, you can do this yourself, and it's very, very, very easy. What's up, Quentin? Damien, how are you? You can sharpen your own chain. What you do is you go by this. For anybody who doesn't have practice in hand filing a chain, this is the trick. How to sharpen any chain? Dude, you can do this. This thing is the trick, okay? I'm going to explain it to you. So the way it works, it's set up with a round file, a flat file, and on the back side, another round file. The way it works is, you see that arrow up there on that plastic? That tells you you're going to work it this way. So you got to find what side it's supposed to be on. This. So you see this like level right here, this line? You see how when you hold it up, it runs at a diagonal? That's the angle you're supposed to use it at, okay? All these little metal rails, keep it at the exact right height and the exact right angle so that this thing does all the work for you. All you do is you take this, make sure this is flat to the way your bar is. So your bar is going to be running like this, so you have it like this, and you're going to run it this way. You're going to do all your teeth, move it. This thing sharpens the tooth, the round file does, and the flat file knocks the dogs down for you, and it does it all in one swipe. So you just get this thing, and there's different versions. This one, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, but you see it's got the writing right there. What it says is 3/8. I got this for I sharpen my 660 with this, and I sharpen my my 362 with this. So yeah, and then when you flip the saw around to do the other side of the chain, you flip this thing over, and you just make sure that your angle and your arrow are on the right side. I'm telling you, this is the trick right here. Anyone can file a chain and make it incredibly sharp with this. But my tip would be, when you're sharpening a chain, you do a tooth, okay? Then take your thumb and touch it. Is it sharp? If it's not sharp, take some more swipes at it. And this thing will make sure that your tooth and your dog, the guide, will be at a perfect angle. Like, they'll be in good comparison. Because the problem is, guys will sharpen it and not do the guides, and especially with modern day chains, those safety chains, it'll skip right over the tooth, and it won't even cut. It don't matter if the tooth's sharp, a tooth goes back at an angle, and the more you sharpen it, the shorter it gets. So that guide is making it jump over it. If you don't knock that guide down, it's never going to hit the tooth. Use your, oh man, that makes me cringe. I can't, Jay. I use my thumb. Like, my thumb is so calloused up, if I pluck at it, and if it doesn't grab my skin and like literally get me, I'm like, nope, not sharp enough. I'll hit it a few more times. The good thing about this is you're always gonna have the guide and the tooth perfect together. The relationship of those two, the guide in front of the tooth, if they don't work together, it's not good. I took out the middle part that catches the raker and do a regular gauge myself. Notice push a little too hard, we'll cut the breakers down. And then make the chain shatter. Oh, really? Who said that? Quentin. Yeah, I mean, I would say, yeah, that could depend. Like, I could see that happening. What I actually do is after using this for about 3 or 4 times, maybe not even 4 times, I will grab just a hand file and I'll get the gullet dug back out, because you start to lose your hook using this thing after a while, because these metal bars only allow you to go so far down. So I'll knock the gullet out and it'll kind of drop things down a little more into the tooth. I feel like I get a little better of a hook. So I feel like I do lose it after a while with these things. If there's anyone to listen to, have a sharp chain in the tree, 100% flat out. Yeah, I mean, a sharp chain is a must up in the tree. I think it's one of the most dangerous things you can get yourself into, is to not have the power and the sharpness to get through the wood quick enough. Like if you're, there's been many times where I'm in the process of falling a top or blowing a top out of a tree, and I will notice that it's starting the barber chair. And you can, you're tied into it, you're lanyarded around it, you can't get all that off. You just stay in the cut as fast as you can and finish, and you can prevent a barber chair from continuing by just keeping into that cut and going. So I like to use salami cuts or fast cuts a lot, and I have that's why I always use the 200, the 201. It's just I want all that power there. I need to be able to use those techniques. And if I don't have those kind of saws, if I'm using like the 150 and I get into something a little bigger, I'm not trying to use those techniques, because I know even with the power that it has, it's just not going to happen. It does work really good, those 150s, especially with the 1/4 inch Pico chain. Makes a smaller cut so it can pass through it a little quicker with that small saw. But yeah, I spent $600 on a stupid electric sharpener and I couldn't figure it out, so I just sold it. Well, at least you didn't keep it and you're just in the hole for it. Oh, appreciate you, Eric. You too, brother. Yeah, start with the simple. Chris is on to something, because it's going to give you an understanding of the chain to where when you move to those bigger sharpeners and stuff, you're going to get it. Using this, I've tried everything. I have that little thing in there where you do this, the silly thing that's on Amazon, where it clamps to the bar and you do this like a fishing pole. I even have that thing in there. I've bought every sharpener thing just to try it. I'm like, is it going to be quicker? Is it going to be better? Never seen anything as simple. It's just understanding this, because a lot of people are like, cool, what do I do with that? Well, this allows you to know what angle to go up at your bar. You want to, when you start your cut, you want it to be flat against the bar when you finish the cut, and that's going to put you at that right angle where you're getting the right angle on the tooth. And then you don't have to worry about the guides, because as you're sharpening the tooth, this thing's doing the guide. Then when you flip it around to do the other side, flip this thing over and you make sure your angle, it's flat on one side when I do it and it ends flat. So this is the ticket. These little bars keep you from overdoing it or underdoing it. So they've got it figured out with this. These little things lock it into place to where it can't jump all over the place when you're trying to press and stuff. So I really like it. I've never said use one of like a easy sharpener before on anything, but I stand by that thing. Especially if you got a big saw, like I use that for my 660, and it's 114 drive length, I think. So it can take a long time to sharpen a chain, so you don't want to have to sit there and hand sharpen each tooth unless you got a bunch of time, and then go back and do all the guides. It's nice to do everything at once. Takes the guesswork out of it. It's well worth it, first, and I promise you, brother, you just need to make sure you're getting the correct size for the saw you have. They make one of these, even, which I'm gonna buy, because I have trouble sharpening the little 1/4 inch Pico chains. The little bitty file, I break these nonstop. And they're always safety chains, which I hate. And I hate having to flat file those safety breakers. So if I could do it all at once, I'm going to do it. So I'm going to buy one of the 1/4 inch Pico ones for my 150 and for like my pole saws and stuff. So really nice to have. So the Vanilla Hunter, is that what they say? What up? What up, Ground Pounder? How do you see you sneak in here? Dude, Ground Pounder. I just got my dad's old chainsaw running. I'm gonna start using it. It's one that's been sitting on the shelf during my live feeds back behind me. My old 200 kind of locked up on me. Oh no! Holy crap. I wouldn't be surprised if this live feed don't end. I have my phone hooked up and everything. I forgot to flip the switch on the power cord, and my phone's like, it just went black. So it's probably got like 2%. Damn. Yeah, my bad, guys. Yeah, I got the 200 run. Like, I haven't had that thing. It hasn't really ran, like, actually fired, ran since the late 90s. I got it to turn over one day and fire, and it kind of fell on its face. I figured the carb was all gummed up, so I ended up switching the carb out and cleaning some stuff up. And I took it out here, and I thought I could get it to fire right before I started the live feed. And I pulled forever, it did nothing. And I was like, damn, all that work for nothing. I'm not giving up. I'm like, I'm going to go start the live feed. Because I was hoping to have it running before I started the live feed. And then I'm like, damn, I already scheduled it. It's another time where I'm going to work on a saw. It's not going to work right. So I started the live feed. When I cracked the case off the side, I noticed that the spark plug wire wasn't connected all the way. I think it had rattled off, and the old plug was gross. So I switched out and put a new plug in it. It looks so fake. It has to look fake, because I pulled it and it fired first try, and the second time it ran. That's and I couldn't, like, I felt like I felt my face get red. I was smiling so much. I can't believe it's running. Who turned the switch on? I did. I just turned it on. Fired up. You want to hear it run one more time? Ah, dog it. Alright. Can we do it sitting down? I cannot believe it runs that good too. And plus, I know the oiler's working because I have oil all over me. So, how cool is that? Yeah, dude, I am so stoked at that. You know what I ought to do while we're sitting here? I don't do anything else. I also pulled out the old 190. Dude, it sounds insane. Like, I remember, like, I opened the muffler up before and I haven't heard it run since I opened the muffler up. The spark arrestor was completely clogged. And these old saws, a lot of times you pull that spark arrestor out and you can't see light through them. So I threw the spark arrestor away. I opened the muffler up a little bit. I cleaned everything. I put that new carb, well, not new carb, but a carb I had rebuilt and cleaned. I had it setting aside. I switched it out. and cleaned like behind the clutch and everything. Getting the gear on the oiler was a little messed up, but so I switched it out. And dude, I can't believe how good it sounds, how good it runs. But yeah, I'm so stoked. And I pulled the 190 out just to see, but I'm stealing the dogs off this thing. I think these are from like an old. They could have actually came on my 036. I have an 036 Pro over there that I kind of need to tinker with a little bit. It runs, but like it doesn't run as good as it should. So, what Jay said. My Husqvarna. That's what I'm saying. That's a smart man right there. He's a genius. You guys are genius. Um, and I also said, you got to get one of these tools if you don't have one. I'm telling you. The nice part is the little like case and everything, because you can actually attach this thing to your saddle, or if you're a logger and it's got a spot to put your file, you put your file down in there. But yeah, this thing is sick. It's basically covers all the tools you would need. It's a multi-tool from Stihl, and stows away pretty nice like that. Pretty compact. And you can, after you crack the bolts loose, you can use it like a screwdriver, which I like. Makes things a little faster. So whatever. PP, maybe a hole. Way to make money. Damn, that'd be crazy. Get it. Get it, boys. I also was saying I did this live feed because, that dickhead sheriff guy, he does live feeds. He don't pay attention to the chat. He just listens to his self-talk. He loves the sound of his own voice. Kind of a jerk. And I figured, I don't want people to think I'm associated with that guy, because then people are going to like try to be mean to me when they see me. So I said, I'll do it live and I'll talk to people. Unlike dickhead. So. And I also was having, well, Huck Wild, what's up? Yeah, it's a sick tool. Here's the other part. When you use multi-tools, you always get, these things are always hard to get out. You like break your fingernail off trying to get them out, like with your fold-up tools, your Leathermans. It's got this little, I didn't know what this was for a while when I first got it, but you push this thing on the back. Oh, I was holding them down, my bad. So you push this, and it pops all of them up. It makes it easy to choose what tool you need. You're so big. Okay. Dang. Who's B? Who's doing it? B. Why you gotta be like that? Why you gotta be like that? I should probably get some Loctite too if I'm gonna do this, but yeah, I want these. I never noticed these dogs on this are better. I like them a lot better than the ones I have on my. Damn, now I moved this way. Fuck, your picture looks dumb. You guys are crazy. Oh no. Now, the only reason that would hurt your feelings is if you know that you're dumb. Or you know that you look dumb. What you gotta do is pretend like it didn't hurt your feelings and just accept it. Like I woke up this morning to a message from Guilty of Treason, Jacob Matthews. He left the comment on the live feed, so you can go read it. But he says the live feed that jerk, the sheriff, did last night. But he says something about Um, as always, thanks for all the negativity. And he made it clear that he's put my check in the mail. Because, well, it's a long story. You gotta watch the live feed, but he owes me some money. And I told him, I was like, you need to pay up. So he basically bribes me because he's super rich from YouTube now. Because he's like YouTube famous. And I'm not. But he's supposed to be giving me the secrets so that I can act like I'm better than all you guys do. Well, actually, I can't say that about him. That dude is as humble gets. And people just hate on him to hate on him. He's a good dude. Don't tell him I told you that, though, so. Ah! Exactly, ground pounder. I feel like, dude, you know how Huck just got, that was crazy, Huck, that's funny. Like, that's not funny if that's real, but if you're doing that to troll, I feel like Jacob Matthews may have done that to me. Because I made fun of him because he don't like ice cream. And maybe I shouldn't be saying this. I'm gonna say it. I'm a jerk, so I don't keep secrets when I'm supposed to. I'm a blabbermouth. I'm like a chick. So like, I love the drama. So I said I don't trust him because he don't eat ice cream. You know what I mean? There's so many different kinds of ice cream. How you not like ice cream? So I said I don't trust that guy. I don't trust anybody that doesn't eat some kind of ice cream. And then he come back with, right on, buddy. Don't be so quick to judge people. I lost my dog from a ice cream related incident. And I instantly felt like the biggest piece of trash in the world. And I'm like, no. I am such a jerk. I instantly apologized with this long message where I'm like, I'm a dog guy too, man. I'm sorry. I didn't. And I think he may have been trolling me. Because the more I think about it, he worded it. If he's okay, if he ever like, if I find out he was trolling me, it's on. Like, it's so on. It's war. Because you can't make fun of me for being compassionate. I like dogs. I got a fat fluffy white one right over here. And he says you don't eat ice cream. He's got PTSD from he lost his dog because of an ice cream related. That's the part that makes me feel like I may be getting trolled, because who words it like that? I would have been like, yo, my dog ate some ice cream and ended up dying and it killed him. So I don't. He called it an ice cream related incident. I don't know about this. I think he may have been trolling me. So if I find out he was, he's getting it. What is he using the ice cream for? Who knows? Like, I know that dogs can't have chocolate and shit. And, oh, homeboy back here, the savage on the other side of the fence. That's right. He makes noises when I want him to. But he's crazy. He's got a little tender belly. So he can't, like, he's got to have bland stuff. And he's got, like, stomach issues where you don't digest stuff as easy. So I feed him, but he's got to have sugar-free Cool Whip. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's possible your dog could eat ice cream and die. So I said I'm sorry. But if I said I'm sorry and he is lying, it's on. You know what I'm talking about, first gen? You know what I need to somehow get a hold of Isaac and have Isaac find out if this is a real story. If he lied to me, that's gross. He's not a good human. He's a bad guy. So you don't lie about your dog dying. That's something you don't do. I'm dead serious. No joke. This is all real. It was on the live feed before that, I think. Yeah, I think it was. It was in what? Not the one we just did, but the week before. I left or in the video, I said I don't trust him because everyone else had ice cream, and he says he don't eat ice cream. He didn't say anything about that in the video, so I'm like, I don't trust that guy. You don't eat ice cream, and then all of a sudden he hit me with the, yeah, don't be so quick to judge people, buddy. He was so nice with the way he worded stuff. I don't like that. But he said, yeah, I feel like he's lying. But if he's not lying, I'm a jerk. So I had to apologize. So right on, ground pounder. I was like, dang, Pounder comes at me hard like he's not being very friendly today. He's like, you suck. Come on. Yeah, I'll show you the difference between these dogs and why I would kind of want them. I think I'm going to actually maybe lose a little bit of my bar length using these, but I don't care. They're going to hold into the cut better. I saw the BBB comments. Did you mean to put Buck and Billy Ray? Or BBB? No, I meant think of that. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm like, why would the Better Business Bureau give a shit about my video? That's when you know you're making bad videos. The Better Business Bureau comes in, they're like, shut this shit down. I know, okay, I get it. I didn't even see him. I didn't see anything. Oh, I maybe know what you're talking about. I kind of told him to shut up. Like, yeah, I think he's, I don't know. He's like trying to say that he had to defend himself by something I said, and I don't even know. So I knew the few things I said the same thing always to him, that he's an emotional wreck, and that he doesn't know how to control his emotions. And for some men that have trouble controlling their emotions, that really hits hard. It's like, oh. BBR is a tool, and not a useful one. I just finished watching his live feed, and I feel like he watches my live feeds because he's always talking about how he's always got people making fun of him and this and that, and I'm like, nobody made funny, or people calling him names. Like, oh, come on, dude. So I called you numbnuts. You know, he got caught up in quite a few little, like, conundrums during his live feed today. They asked him about the best boots and why because, you know, he's like, oh, I like cork boots and they're better than sewn-in boots. And they're like, somebody said, why? And he sat there and rambled and like stuttered for 5-10 minutes and said nothing, and was like, he talks like he's an authority about shit, and then when you ask him, well, why do you think that, or what's good about that, or why is your way better, he doesn't have an answer. He basically turns it around and he's like, well, if you ever get a chance to try them, then you'll know, and you'll have your own experience, and then you'll understand me. Because if I try to explain it to you right now, you're not going to understand. I think maybe he does. I don't know if he trolls me. I feel like I'm trolling him. I don't know. He's talking about who else is calling him names. Like, and if somebody called me numbnuts, I think I would laugh. That's funny. That's not mean. Numbnuts? Like, what's wrong with that? Relax, numbnuts. It's not that deep. So, I don't know. I think he trolls me sometimes. I feel like he does. But, I just wish he had a little, he could be self-deprecating a little bit. Not think of himself as such a superior human to everyone else and realize he's not right every time. And that, like, he's not the greatest human to ever live. So, it's okay to make mistakes and admit that you don't know everything sometimes. And that everything's not perfect. Like, he's playing such a character. He did one of the, I'll tell you what, I feel like I absolutely, he told on himself today, right before this live feed, I was watching his, and he says, he was talking about this boot company, and he said, this boot company is going to be rich if it works out, if everything works out. And people were like, why are they going to be rich? And he's like, because I got plans to make a Buckin' Billy Ray boot. Dude, that's crazy to say something like that. Like, he's basically being like, my supporters and audience will buy anything I put my name on. They're that stupid. Or I mean, maybe you're not stupid, maybe you're just super, 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 super supportive. But if you are, come over here. Hang out with me. I don't know. I just think it's a crazy thing to say. That this company is about to become rich. All because you are going to do a boot with them? Do you make that much money from people's donations in YouTube that just them teaming up with you to make a boot is going to make them rich? This is not me making these. I didn't make that up. That was what he said. Those are his exact words. And then he kind of realized what he was saying. And so he wanted to, switch the topic. And that's when someone's like, well, I have sewn-in boots. Why are corked boots better? And he's like, well, son, if you haven't heard it, then I don't know. What?
The humidifier thing's beeping at me. Do I just unplug it?
You can.
It's freaking out. I've been trying to figure out what this beeping noise is, and I finally figured it out.
Yeah, maybe the tank or maybe the jug's full of water. I'll check it when I come inside.
So just unplug it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. I hit her when I'm not on camera. I look like a complete jerk. I probably stared at her like an asshole. I can't show her off on video because I somehow married up and got lucky. She's way too pretty to be with me. Look. Nobody, as long as someone tells her, we're good. Greetings from Germany. Is that funny? I like that. Just funny. I dig that. Greetings to you. All the way to Germany from America. The home of Stihl. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Those look good. So I switched those out. Now if you notice, you see how those curl out? Look how these little ones are. I painted them. Dang, they're orange on both sides. I thought one side would be silver. But they're very, very little. Very small. I think it's the same amount of teeth though. Yeah. Yeah, same amount of teeth. But you do get to keep every bit of your bar with this one. And it looks like it probably is meant for a modern chainsaw. Or a bigger saw. Because there's a bit of a gap there. A little one. Where you can get a little daylight through there. But yeah, I like knowing that even on back cuts and stuff. Oh, Buckin is on this crusade. You know how he fixates on shit? Well, he's fixated right now on not back barring. The guy who is back barred for 50,000 years is now telling everyone to never back bar. Get out of here, dude. What are you talking about? And shoot, that's so crazy. That's him, once again, he's so superior to you that something he does and something he has done for decades, you shouldn't do. You're not good enough, okay? Just so you know, you're not strong enough, you're not enough of a man, you're not skilled enough with a chainsaw to be back barring. So you peasants, every single one of you, especially the ones that donate and leave nice messages, you all need to be working on a pulling chain because you're sissies and what they call bitch made. Like, I'm sorry. That's me looking into what he's saying. That's my opinion on what he really means when he says that. That's just it. I think there are people that I feel like they may pretend like they like you, they're friendly, they're this, they're that, but if you had a real interaction, you would maybe not like it. I think there are guys that I wouldn't like. I think Buckin is the guy that I would like to hang around. That's crazy. I think I would enjoy hanging around him. I just don't agree with some of the stuff he does on YouTube. I think he's a good dude. Like, but I don't agree with some of the stuff. Some of his actions, some of the things he talks about, some of the people he likes to talk about without naming them, you know, and some of the stuff that he likes to teach people that's unsafe. So he should just be a proud old school climber and teach people stuff like that, but make it clear, like, my methods are outdated. That's what he doesn't do. He's like, well, I'm gonna teach you guys this. You do it like this, you know, don't do it this way, don't do it this way. I think he would do better, and it would be more morally correct if he was just honest and was like, hey, I do it this way. It may not be the safest way in the world, but this is the way I do it. And be proud of that. And I would stand behind it 100%. So. Shoot. You're wildin'. Okay. Damn, yeah, this is the better clutch cover, too. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot more to do here today. I wanted to try to see if this saw would run. I cannot, but like I'm beyond stoked that this saw's running. Like this made my whole weekend. This is so awesome. But yeah. I like that. That, you know what? Pull up another chair. I would, yeah. I don't like people who think they're better. I really don't. I'm telling you, you guys can have whatever opinion of me that you want. And unless I've interacted with you and I have an opinion of you beforehand, I'm always gonna, I don't think I'm better than anybody. But sometimes, like, I just don't like people who act like they are. You know, it happens when you become a big YouTuber. You start believing your own BS. And you're like, that's right. People ask me my advice and I need to influence their life. So they start listening to everything you say. And one day those people are going to wake up and they're going to be like, shit, I forgot to live my life. I let Buck and Billy Ray do it for me. Dang it. Maybe I can go back. No, you can't go back. You bought an $800 axe from him. or you just bought August Honeyke's climbing kit for $2,500. I can't wait to see how much it costs. I legit feel like it will probably be around that price. 2,500. $2,000, between $2,000 and 2,500. Let's see how greedy he actually is. We'll see. You guys are wild. Dog's back on there. I like the look of the muffler on the old 190. That box, like triangle look. It made for easy porting. I think you could put a cool little pipe on this thing and just do an attachment piece onto this. It's just got the part there that lets everything out. For anybody buying these modern day saws, I don't know what they're doing. I feel like they're just restricting them on air so much for emissions that they come weak. They have such a loss of power that should be there because you're talking about a certain CC and it's just not there. And then you start opening up the mufflers on some of these things. That's what a lot of times when you're going and you're buying the bark box, it is just opening up your muffler, which you could do on your own, and you get a different response. It gets airflow. You know, it's got to be able to let that compressed air and stuff out and accept air in to be able to pull it back up. So with no way to let the air out with ease and get it back, it's going to make it hard or tough for that piston to move inside that cylinder. So the saddle and suspenders I got cost. Oh my god, okay. Holy shit. Holy shit. Maybe I should rethink. Maybe we're closer. I'm saying 2,500. I feel like now that I know that, that's me trying to be generous and like even on what I think it's going to cost. That's so crazy. It's upsetting too to know that guys are paying that much for their gear. Shouldn't have to. Shouldn't be able to go buy a used car for the money that you just spent going and buying a safe saddle to be doing your daily job in. So yeah, those new let's see, what did Jay say? Mental for prices, yeah, and the bridge line is way. Is it? Yeah, it just seems, it looks floppy to me. I've tried one on. I've never had a full climbing one, but I've tried one on. It just seems floppy to me. I prefer to have my saddle a bit rigid, you know. The bridge ring is 2.0. I see nothing. What up, John? Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't want to sit on here and just talk shit like that jerk does every Saturday evening. So there's enough being mean on this channel. I guess I can be nice every once in a while and just be a nice guy. That's what's going to be the best, to have interactions with people outside of this, because I'm telling you from experience, it would amaze you to know how many tree guys find absolutely no humor in what I do. So, there's no rule that says you gotta have a sense of humor, though. They're silly, man. Yeah. Yeah, if you need to know how crazy people are. I think the internet is hilarious and fun, and I dig the fact that it gives some of these really extremely weak, insecure people, or say they're having a bad day, like a really, really bad day, and instead of going home and fighting with their wife, hang on, that's not likely. Most of them, instead of punching a hole in their mom's basement floor, like on the wall, or breaking their school books, they get on YouTube and leave a mean comment to somebody that would probably smack the shit out of them, which I think is more than funny. But I think everybody should just get a good punching bag so you can get your anger out when you need. This thing has saved many, many arguments. That's why it's all broken and leaning sideways. I beat the shit out of it. Had to glue it back together. So, guys, I don't have much else to say. I just wanted to hang out for a little bit. Like I said, I didn't get time to really keep up with the chat last night. And I never really do. That's the part that kind of sucks. Like, to get through all the notes and shit, a lot of times I have to just totally disregard the chat. So, forgive me if you left an important comment last night and I did not get to it. Yeah, this thing's so fun because the more you beat the shit out of it, the faster it moves. Yeah, I dig it. Done a couple punching bags and shit too, so yeah, get my aggression out when I need. Let's see what this big knucklehead is doing. Hey, what are you doing, dude? Huh? What are you doing over there? She's crazy, I'm telling you. Alright, I better get off here. Catch you guys later for the members. I did just throw. You feel seasick yet? My bad. Oh my God. All of them, every single one of them. So I put up a new members video. So that's up. I don't think much else. Oh, yeah, last night, as soon as we ended the live feed, about an hour afterwards, I got my links and everything put into it. I had to take them back out because it wouldn't upload. So I took them back out. I have to maybe put them back in, but YouTube took like 700 views away from the video. I don't know why. When we ended the video, we had, I think it was like it was like an hour later. It was like at 1,000. When I checked the views, I finally finished editing everything and putting the description together the rest of the way. It was at like 1,000, and then when I woke up this morning, it was like at 380. So I would love for YouTube to explain how, like, explain that math to me. I don't really understand that one, and I'm pretty good at math, so. But I'll catch you guys next time. Stay safe. Thanks for hanging out. See ya.